Here we have the Revoltech New Movie Edition Eva Production Model 02 from the movie Evangelion 2.0, You Cannot Advance. As pointed out in the last video, the Evangelions are now in larger boxes. Unit 2 is piloted by Asuka Langley Soryu. She's been renamed for this movie. Why? I don't know. But her family name is now Shikinami. From what I've read, other changes have also been made, but I won't spoil them. So let's see what we got inside. Got a clinger. Stand and assembly bot. Oh, beautiful Eva. Now we've already seen this box before. And this yoke here. Okay, we lost something there. Ah, everything's exploding. Piece of junk. Right. Eva time. This one isn't going to plan. So my first QC issue with a Revoltech toy. As you can see, Eva's hip has popped out. That silver stuff must be some sort of gluey paint. And there wasn't actually enough to keep it attached. Excuse me while I glue Eva's leg back on. The only thing more fun than playing with your toys is fixing them. So, assembly board, the unveiling. Let's see what colour we got this time. It's another purple one. Right, down to Eva. I'm not showing you purple board, you've already seen it.
Brother, hello!
So the booklet, what do we get? It looks like the exact same booklet as before, which it is. All the usual stuff, you've seen it all before, boring as hell. Ta-da! Assembly board information. Yeah, chips. Whatever with the chips. I'm depressed with the chips. I'm depressed with the assembly board. I'm in a bad mood. Eva broke, had to fix her. Assembly board, same colour as before. Yeah, well. Thank God it's a nice Eva. So what do we get? We get our little box for holding junk. We get our little Revoltech 10-point chip. There we go. We've got 10 Revoltech points. That makes 20 in total for me so far. In addition to that, we get jetpacks, replacement arms to be used with the jetpacks. As you can see, the arm here got a little fin. This arm here's got a longer fin. Axe, gun, different gun, stand, power supply. And then we got a couple of sets of replacement hands and some custom hands over here. So let's take a closer look at the hands. First hand we've got is Clasp the Air, not to be confused with Catch Your Hand, as you can see. Then we've got the standard little gun hand. So as seen on the back of the box, this must be the hand that goes to pull the knife out of the shoulder. So this is the first of the 3 unique hands. It's kind of like a karate chop hand, or some sort of stop or signal maybe. Like, go ahead, go ahead. So the second of the custom hands also looks like it could be used for holding the axe. So I suppose a little spoiler here, it looks like the Evas go bowling in the second movie. So one of the cool things about this little box is we can take all Eva's hands and have somewhere to store them. Because I used to have little baggies everywhere, loads of baggies to try and store all this stuff. So this is actually a nice extra. More useful on this than Unit 05. And there we have it, all stored away nicely. So if we move on to the next lot of extras, let's get the weapons out of the way. So we've seen this gun before in previous incarnations of the Eva toy. So here we have Eva's crossbow gun, which is really nice. I have to say I'm a big fan of it. I always liked its design. So finally we've Eva's fireman axe, and there really isn't much to see here. So here we have Unit 2's power plug. So here we have Eva's backpack. It's very nicely designed. Doesn't actually move, it's all sculpted. I thought it might actually fold here, but it doesn't. So this goes on to Eva's right shoulder, left as we look. So to replace Eva's shoulder pad, all we need to do is pick up Eva, pop off the old shoulder pad. So as you can see, there's a little piece of plastic that extrudes from the back that's used to hold the backpack in place. So first we get the arm out of the way, line up everything and push it in the hole. And Eva's got a new shoulder pad. But as you can see, it's a wee bit loose, so I think I'm going to have to hit that up with some clear varnish. This Eva toy really is a fixer-upper. So as you can see, here's the replacement forearm to go with the backpack. Again, fairly simple in design. Hand pops in here, and then the elbow joint will go in there. So back again from another little interlude of repairs, we now see Eva's little port on her back has been fixed. To infinity and beyond! So let's have a look at the Eva 02 from the 97 movie. Sweet. I know somebody who's been looking forward to getting his little weapon. The very obvious difference is they've changed the shade of red used. The 97 is closer to a scarlet red, while the new movie edition is more of a burgundy. They've upgraded the knee from a single Revoltech joint to a double. The forearms have been changed from yellow to white, plus there's now a burgundy fin coming out from the bracer. So if we take a look at the head, you can see the sculpt is very different. As you can see, there is a more detailed sculpture in the new version. The new Unit 2 can go get its palm red with the additional sculpting detail, where the old version looks like it's pretty much wearing a glove. The feet are now longer and all the limbs have been made skinnier and stretched to give Unit 2 a more lanky, athletic look. So starting at the head, the neck turns at the chest and the head also turns at the top of the neck, which gives Eva a good range of motion. And of course you get the chicken head forward and back. Now the shoulder pads have a new way of being mounted. They're no longer on the top of the shoulder, but are attached to the back. In addition, there's also a little bit of side to side action. So as you can see, this little part used to attach to the upper shoulder, which means when Eva lifts her arm up, this kind of goes all over the place. And while you can kind of keep it vertical, when you start moving Eva's arm around, things just completely go out of shape. One of the limitations is it becomes a little more involved to actually pose the arm, and most of the times you need to move it out of the way, figure out where you want Eva's hand and shoulder and all those little jointies to go, and once you've got them there, work out how best to throw the shoulder pad back over the arm. But overall it works out better. So we get the usual Revoltech elbow joint, which pretty much gives you 180 degrees. Now the hand is just held in place by a little tab, so you can push it in, and you can kind of move it around. It's not really what I consider articulation, because it just likes to fall off. Now obviously Eva's abdomen goes from side to side, and it's on a single Revoltech joint, so it'll fold in half. So we get the usual kicky action out of Eva's leg. We also get spinny around, disturbingly sore Eva broke her leg action, which I don't like. Doesn't look right. So the knee gives you the full 180, which you'd expect from an Eva at this point. So the foot goes forward and back as you'd expect. This is now static and won't spin around like the previous edition of Eva. While the really cool new feature for this and Unit 1 is the foot will now bend up. It'll bend down, just a tiny bit, but it'll also spin around and bend up. And what you can then do is, because Eva fights dirty, you pop this off and then Eva will kick you where it hurts. Oh yeah! So one final note on the foot, the way they've moulded the bottom of the leg is shaped so the heel of the foot can go up and into it to enable it to be straightened out, which is a nice little touch. It would be like comparing apples and oranges with these two Eva, as the styles have changed a lot between both movies. While the Evas have always been tall, skinny and lanky, they've taken that to a whole new level in the Rebuild of Evangelion line of toys. The inclusion of more weapon accessories is a positive move, 2 guns and an axe. The obvious accessory missing is the progressive knife, which appears to be an extra. Now I'm only guessing, but I'm sure those Revoltech chips are used to purchase the additional shoulder pads and knife, as seen on the back of the box, which is good from a marketing point of view, but as a consumer I'm unhappy that it's not all included in the box. Also, being an aftermarket accessory, it becomes much harder to acquire, especially if you live in Ireland. The rocket pack is a nice addition, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they use it in the new movie. The 2 biggest changes are the feet and shoulders. With all the additional articulation added to the legs, it was good that they didn't forget about the feet, as the upgrade allows for some awesome posing. Now the shoulder panels being mounted off the back is a stroke of genius. At last the arms can be posed independently from the panels, All these things are worthy upgrades from the 97 edition. So in closing, it's easy to choose which one to recommend. With all the new features and upgrades, the Rebuild will be the one to go for. While the 97 edition is a very nice Revoltech, little things like having a Revoltech joint for a stomach, a single joint for the neck, all start to add up against it when compared to the Rebuild. Plus, saying Unit 2 is a little more colour coordinated just doesn't feel manly, even though it's true. So this was me, was Arthur, with another review saying Slàinte.